Aims, membership, and structure of the League. World War I was known as the war to end all wars. Around the world, everyone was against war and that it shouldn't happen again. Different leagues were made around the world to help create peace. Wilson was one of the strongest supporters of the League, even though he didn't come up with the idea. It was created by representatives of France and Belgium. Even though there was an agreement to create a league, there wasn't any agreement for the structure. The aims, structures, and methods were made in the covenant. It was signed by countries that became the founders of the league, founder members of the league. The League of Nations was made to prevent wars. It was done by promoting disarmament, abolishing secret diplomacy, arbitration, and developing collective security. It also had to administer post-war peace settlements by arranging plebiscites and organizing mandates. Promoting international cooperation was done by seeking to improve working conditions and wage levels. Rep- Repatriation was of prisoners of war and resettling refugees. Re- Providing loans to new countries, encouraging the development of education, and promoting improvements in public health. The structure consisted of the General Assembly, where they met in Geneva to decide general policy, deal with the admission of new members, and to handle finances. The decisions had to be unanimous. The council was made to settle political disputes between nations. The votes also had to be unanimous, and it was made up of permanent and non-permanent members. The league started with four permanent members: Britain, France, Italy, Japan. The USA rejected to join, and Germany became a fifth permanent member later on. When Germany and Japan left, the USSR became a permanent member. There's supposed to be four non-permanent members elected every 3 years. It started with Belgium, Brazil, Greece, and Spain, then increased to six, nine, and then 11. The Secretariat prepared agendas, published reports, and dealt with routine matters. The Permanent Court of International Justice was created to deal with legal disputes. Court had 15 judges of different nationalities who were elected for 9 years. The main commission dealt with issues such as mandates, disarmament, refugees, and slavery. Committees were made to deal with international labor, health, child welfare, drug problems, and women's rights. They facilitated the repatriation of 400,000 prisoners of war, set up refugee camps, helped start finding preventions for diseases, closed companies that were selling illegal drugs, and arranged for the freedom of 200,000 slaves. Little work was done for the disarmament, restricting work hours, or women's rights. Collective security and the League's involvement in the resolution of disputes successes. League of Nations developed a system known as collective security. Members would take economic and military action against any country that was posing a threat. Any future disputes would be referred to the League and they would decide how to solve it. Economic sanctions were placed by countries who didn't follow. Failed, then they would threaten military action. 1920, violence began between Czechoslovakia and Poland, who both claimed Teschen. The League arbitrated and split the region between both countries. In 1921, there was a dispute between Sweden and Finland over the islands. Population was mainly Swedish, but the islands belonged to Finland. The people wanted to be part of Sweden, but Finland refused. The Swedish government took the problem to the League, but they decided it should stay with Finland and they both accepted the decision. 1921, Silesia was divided on whether they want to be part of Germany or Poland. Riots started, which caused the League to intervene and they decided to split the land between Germany and Poland. They all accepted this decision. Also in 1921, Yugoslavia and Albania had disputes over territory on their joint border. Yugoslav troops entered Albania, but after a league found in favor of Albania, Yugoslavia accepted it and withdrew. In 1923, the port of Memel was under control of the League, but Lithuania claimed the region and invaded it. League decided that it should be part of Lithuania and it should be an international zone. Uh, uh, Lithuania then accepted the decision. In 1924, Turkey demanded that they should take control back of Mosul, area they lost due to settlements to Iraq. The League found in favor of Iraq, and after reaching an agreement with uh, they accepted the decision. 1925, Greece invaded Bulgaria due to a border dispute, but Bulgaria didn't fight back. They only resisted to avoid conflict. The League created a peaceful settlement, decided that Greece should withdraw and pay compensation. They accepted and complied with the decision. Collective security and the League's involvement in the resolution of disputes challenges. In 1920, a dispute started between Poland and Lithuania over Vilna, capital of Lithuania, with a Polish population. The Polish troops occupied the city, but they were forced to remove them by the League. Then they reinforced their troops and annexed the city. They defied the League and they didn't do anything about it. Both Britain and France also supported Poland's claim, and also Poland in 1920. They invaded Russian territory, and in 1921, the Treaty of Riga was signed, which gave Poland more territory. The League couldn't do anything because Russia wasn't a member and communism was unpopular. Germany failing to pay the reparations caused the invasion of the Ruhr by France and Belgium. There are two members of the League breaking the rules that they committed themselves. Decisions in the council had to be unanimous, and France and Belgium were part of it, so no action could be done until the Dawes Plan. After the Corfu incident in 1923, where Italy blamed Greece for the death of three Italian officials, Mussolini demanded compensation and then occupied the Corfu. Greece appealed to the League, who ordered Italy to withdraw, but they refused and wanted a council of ambassadors. The council decided that Greece should pay the compensation in Italy, which showed how a member of the council denied the League from taking action, and the League was overruled by another body. Weaknesses of the league. There are many reasons for league's weaknesses, such as it be creating an unpopular settlement, the Paris Peace settlement. It only has some powerful countries as member states. The USA refusal to join the league and continue following isolationism. The use of other organizations undermine the power and authority of the league. The need for unanimous votes in all decisions made which slow down decision making. Collective security wasn't being enforced as many countries were reluctant to get involved in war, and countries such as Britain and France focused mainly on their own national interests over the interests of the League. Role and impact of the agencies. The International Labour Organization improved working conditions around the world. Maximum working hours were fixed, minimum wage levels were established, sick and unemployment benefits were provided, and old age pensions were introduced. The decision to establish a minimum wage was ratified by 77 countries. Social security schemes were common in Europe. Measures were made to improve the lives of underprivileged people. Their attempts to ban night and work and holiday pay were rejected. The International Commission for Refugees helped resettle over 500,000 former prisoners of war after they were left in Russia. The Nansen passport was introduced as the first internationally recognized identity card for stateless refugees. The Commission helped find homes, food, and jobs for 1.5 million refugees in Turkey to avoid the spread of diseases. The Health Organization helped deal with health risks from the refugees in Turkey. They also helped investigate and prevent epidemics. They helped combat a typhus epidemic in Russia, and they carried out research on many diseases. Vaccines were also introduced worldwide for tuberculosis, diphtheria, and tetanus. The Mandates Commission helped supervise the territories taken from Germany and Turkey. They made sure that they were well governed and prepared for independence. They helped with the administration of the Saar region until they created the plebiscite. They also wanted regular reports from the main powers to make sure that they are following the rules. They, however, weren't able to carry out inspections to make sure that reports are accurate. The League was also able to provide financial assistance to countries such as Austria and Hungary who were facing bankruptcy. Loans were set up and they helped with advice on how to best spend money. The league also helped with issues such as the exploitation of women and children, drug trafficking, and slavery. They freed 200,000 slaves in Sierra Leone and Burma. He also investigated that the president of Liberia and the government officials are practicing forced labor and the president was forced to resign.